On his 2,000-acre poultry farm in Pocomoke City, Jason Lambertson is building something revolutionary. It may look like a lot of concrete and metal, but these tanks are about to house one of the Eastern Shore's most important agricultural commodities, and eventually use it to generate electricity. No, not the chickens themselves. Chicken manure.
The hope is that this could catch on anywhere. Every area in the world has a need. In some places, the electrical rates are beyond what people can even fathom to pay.
Chicken manure is high in phosphorus, making it one of the most nutrient-rich fertilizers on the planet. Farmers have been using it to help grow crops for decades. But if the manure escapes the farm and gets into local waterways, it can cause an overgrowth of algae. These algae blooms starve the water of oxygen, killing life in the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries.
I see the big picture of what the environmental impacts are. I've seen that over the years, and having good ties in those lines opened up the avenues to say, hey, wait a second, what could we do?
So, Jason helped create Planet Found, an energy development company with a unique plan for power.
The goal of this is to bring the agricultural and environmental communities together, to see this plant work, to see the offset of what change could be made if these plants were implemented.
Through a process called anaerobic digestion, bacteria will break down the chicken manure. The process will release methane gas, producing electricity. It's not a new concept. Methane digesters for cow manure have been around for a while, but there are only a few digesters in the country that use chicken manure. According to Technical Director Andy Moss, this system will be the first to also capture the nutrients.
We're interested in not only treating the waste for energy production, but also extracting nutrients from the poultry litter because poultry litter is so high in phosphorus.
So these tanks will not only help generate power, they'll also separate the manure into its key ingredients: carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus.
So for the last 50 to 100 years, poultry litter has been applied on the shore, and phosphorus, unlike nitrogen, is not highly soluble in water. So as phosphorus goes into the soil, a lot of it actually adheres to the soil particles and can accumulate in the soil to dangerously, in terms of the environment, high levels.
Because the litter has already been digested, its chemical components can be further broken down. By regulating the water pressure and pH inside these tanks, the nitrogen and phosphorus in the manure can be separated and collected. From there, they can be sold separately to farmers in areas that need the extra nutrients.
We can actually go through and have renewable energy and utilize a resource that we have currently in our poultry manure and utilize it in a way that hasn't been utilized before.
Stephanie Lansing is an anaerobic digestion specialist at the University of Maryland. She's an independent expert who travels the world trying to learn and understand the value of this technology.
With this system, it's very unique in the sense that not only is it reducing nutrients going into the bay, but also producing on-farm renewable energy.
So that's the effluent coming back over.
Once the system is up and running, Stephanie hopes other farmers will get on board.
So again, in here we still see that it's pretty good moisture, which is actually good for digestion. We want some moisture. So this is still nice and wet. It's still pretty dry material, but it's pretty good.
Maryland's poultry industry produces a few 100,000 tons of manure each year that needs to be managed.
If we can find a way to utilize the manure in a way that's sound and practical, with the assistance of the state, the environment, the agricultural communities, it's a solution. It's a long-term solution that really could change the face of agriculture in Maryland.
Jason is looking forward to the day that this plant will be up and running, producing electricity and ushering in a new era of farming on the Eastern Shore.